Hey guys, even if you just met a woman you're attracted to, if she's ready for love and keen on you, there'll be signs of emotional attraction and you might be surprised by them. So if you are at a stage in your life where you're ready to find, attract, and keep a true keeper, then you'll want to pay attention to these 5 big signs of emotional attraction with a woman. Because physical attraction, chemistry, and connection are not enough for a long-term happy relationship. And you don't want to end up 7 months in or 7 years in looking at a painful breakup. To help you avoid heartache, let's look at the 5 big signs of emotional attraction with a woman. Number 5 will surprise you. 5 big compatibility factors. And some sneaky questions women ask to know if you're her keeper. Welcome to Just the Tip. Just before we get into the 5 big signs of emotional attraction with a woman, let's recap the 5 compatibility signs, because these factors will help you recognize the signs of emotional attraction with a woman. So, in addition to physical attraction and connection and chemistry, here are the 5 big compatibility factors: beliefs, values, long-term goals, lifestyle, and temperament. These compatibility factors don't need to be exactly alike. Otherwise, that would be boring, but they do need to be in alignment. In other words, they can't be so far apart that you have no respect for the other person because of them. Whether it's political beliefs, family values, religion, whether or not to have kids, whether to live in the city or the country, you'll want to make sure you're on the same page for the things that are most important to you for your happiness. That's the key point. You don't have to be in alignment on everything, but you do have to be in alignment on the things that are most important to you to make you happy. And temperament is more about conflict and energy levels, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. So how do the 5 big compatibility factors play into emotional attraction with a woman? This brings us to a key point. If a woman is ready for a long-term relationship, in general, or potentially with you, she will want to know about these 5 compatibility factors. She'll consciously or subconsciously want to know if you're compatible beyond the physical. And she'll start asking questions related to them, sometimes sneaky questions. We're going to get into those questions and their actual translation in a minute. So, the 5 big signs of emotional attraction with a woman. Number 1, she'll want to know about your general history. When a woman sees you as having long-term potential, or hopes that you do, and she's ready for that, she'll want to know everything about you. How you grew up, siblings, your relationship with your siblings, your family. But she'll want to go past the basic demographics to get to know who you really are. Just like you will probably ask some of the same questions or similar questions about her to get to know who she is and what kind of experiences she's had in life that has shaped who she is today. Or you should. A woman who isn't emotionally attracted to you doesn't need to know your history because she's not looking for a relationship, or at least not with you. Sorry, but true. Which brings us to number 2. She'll want to know about your relationship history. Again, if she's ready for a long-term love, and you might be the guy, or she's emotionally attracted to you, she will want to know where you stand on relationships. And asking you outright often doesn't elicit a truthful answer, because even if you're not ready, if you think she might be and you're not, you know you're not going to advance anywhere if you tell her the truth. And sometimes it's not that you want to lie, it's that you want the things that come out of your mouth to be the truth to make her happy, even if they're not quite truthful yet. For example, she might ask, when was your last relationship? Translation, is she going to be the rebound girl? If she asked you, am I a rebound girl? No matter how you feel, you're probably going to say no. And you may not even know. Then she might ask, who broke up with who? Translation, are you over your ex yet? If you're not over your ex, are you actually going to tell her that outright? Are you going to say, no, I'm not, but I'm hoping that being with you will help with that? Probably not the right answer. Or she might ask, what went wrong in that relationship? Translation, How did you contribute to the relationship ending? If you say, I chose my last girlfriend because she was hot and great in bed, but she also acted like an entitled princess and flirted with other guys, that might not go over so well. That means you're looking at superficial and maybe not choosing all that well. As I've said in many videos, women's primary need is to feel safe, physically, emotionally, financially, the works. That's not going to make her feel safe. You not taking some responsibility for what went wrong in your last relationship, and it might be simply that you chose poorly. By the way, that's a really good answer. Okay, number 3. She wants to know about your sexual history. So, in today's modern dating world, a lot of promiscuous women don't bother to ask you about your sexual history because they're just going to use a raincoat and they know that you might not tell the truth anyway. And since she doesn't see you in the long term, a one-off is worth the risk for her. But if she's actually interested in an emotional connection in a long-term relationship, potentially with you, she will want to know about your sexual history. She might ask, how many women have you been with? Translation, have you tried enough ice cream flavors to be sure you're ready for one woman, that being me? Well, not me, but her. Or it could be, is this guy carrying things I don't want to catch? Never mind the feelings I might catch. She might ask, have you ever done a threesome? Or insert any sexual fantasy here that might be appealing to you or that was an issue for her in a past relationship. Any fantasy she doesn't want to do. Translation, do you like a variety of ice cream flavors too much to be monogamous with her, or too much to be able to play in the playground where she feels comfortable in a relationship? Depending on who you are and what stage of life you're in, your truth might not make her feel safe. And to find out more about what stage of life you are in, we're going to look at number 4. She's going to ask you about long-term goals. If she's discovered enough about your history to determine some of your beliefs and values, then she's going to want to know how your goals fit into her goals, into her future plans and hopes and dreams. She'll ask you about things that are important to her without necessarily letting you know how important they are to her. She won't want to influence you into saying the right thing if it's not the truth. Well, the truth. But she'll be specific. Instead of just saying, how do you feel about kids? She might say, how many children do you see yourself with one day or having one day? Translation, she wants children. She wants to be a mom. Or could be, she's testing you. More on that in a minute. And depending on your answer, if you say, yes, you do want children and she does want children, then she might go in for more specifics. How many, when, where, in the city, in the country? That's definitely a sign of emotional attraction. And key point, the details might not be the deal breaker, but having or not having kids might be the deal breaker. Asking these questions is a sure sign that she's experiencing emotional attraction and envisioning a future with you. And here's the part where it's going to surprise you a little. Once she's developed some certainty around your beliefs, values, long-term goals, finding out if your lifestyle ideals are somewhat compatible, then she's going to look for temperament. Because if things feel too good, that might be a bit scary. She needs to know how you handle conflict and what your truth really is. And that brings us to number 5. She challenges you. Challenging you helps her reveal your true temperament. If she straight out asks you, how do you handle conflict with a woman? You are probably not going to be completely honest and say, well, when I don't get my way, I raise my voice until she sees my point. Or, sorry, but these are true. This is like, some of you have experienced this. Or, I'm passive aggressive and run away until I'm coaxed back with coddling and nurturing. That's not going to be a win. So instead, she challenges you. Key point, all women test men. If she's really emotionally mature and has emotional intelligence, you won't even know you're being tested. It'll be more of a subtle psychological evaluation. You won't even know it. But her wanting to check your temperament and how you handle conflict with her is actually a good thing. This means there is emotional attraction and potential. She wants to know how you handle conflict. But if she's not so mature, or you've said or done something that's actually triggered her, then yeah, you're going to know it's a test, or it's going to feel like a test, and it's not going to be fun. It will be frustrating and annoying. I know what some of you are thinking. If she tests me, I'm out. I finished school long ago. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. There's a whole bunch of them. But here's the thing. That's fine. Enjoy being single. Not every guy is cut out for relationships. They're a lot of work, and women are complicated, and women are a lot of work. No question. If that's you, you might want to watch my video on when to stay single and the 5 benefits of staying single. You might appreciate that one. But if you're the kind of guy who actually wants a loving cuddle buddy to come home to at the end of the day, someone who just makes this crazy world easier to be in, then you will have a better chance of finding a good woman, because so many other men will bow out too soon when they get to the test stage. And that's not to say all tests are okay or all women testing men are worth it. Hell no. But how do you handle her tests when they're really annoying or it feels like they're never ending? There's actually a way to handle all women's tests effectively, easily, and instantly to sort the throwbacks from the keepers. So if you want to know the other reasons women test men and how to handle all her tests effectively and how to test her because you actually should, then you're going to want to watch my video on why women test men, how to handle her tests, and how to test her. And if you want to know more about temperament and how opposite temperaments can doom your relationship or a potential relationship, then you're going to want to watch my video on that. And I'll put a link at the end. So, which of these 5 signs of emotional attraction with a woman most surprised you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for being here. God bless.